welcome to Wisconsin Weather Experts right here on Fox Local and, of course, the Fox 6 YouTube channel. It's a hot and sticky day already.
It is. It started off this morning. I thought we'd have a little bit of a relief, but no, not the case. Well, really, last night it was humid, too. I got in my car last night, and it was like, felt wet.
Yeah, exactly. It's been very damp, and it's a good point bringing up the nights because we really haven't had much of a break in the overnights. Air temperatures come down a bit, but the dew points stay high, and if you don't have AC and it's muggy like that, it's just been really challenging. The good news is, and you're going to dig into this in a few minutes, we're about to get a break from this, and it's actually going to feel like fall by later on this week, so that will be very interesting indeed. Now, we've talked about the heat dome and everything, and then there's that ring of fire, and it does get very active when you have these heat domes, but on the peripheries of the domes, and we have a lot of active weather video to share with you right out of the gate. So let's first go to South Dakota. Storms rolling through a good portion of the upper Midwest. What a video right here. This was from Sunday evening, creating some damage, very large tornado spotted in Watertown, South Dakota, and the video captured it touching down, hitting farmland about 40 minutes west of the Minnesota state line. At least one building was destroyed there. So far, there have been no reports of injuries.
And as we move right along here, I mean, the weather impacted a large part of Minnesota and made quite a bit of noise. This video was sent to us from David. He captured wind, rain, and lightning in the White Bear Lake area.
Yeah, Minnesota and Iowa and South Dakota hit very hard. Look at the rain pouring down, too. You heard the lightning strike, saw the lightning strike, and the rain pouring down, frequent flashes. That's what, was the brunt of it overnight, and that missed us just to the south and west. In Plymouth, Minnesota, we've got some video there. Look at the hail pelting someone's port deck. Yeah, some small hail falling on the back deck of that residence right there. Hope that glass table survives it. That was around 7:30 Sunday night. There were some larger hail reported events in that area as well, even on into early this morning across parts of Minnesota and much of Iowa as well. All right, and check out this video. This one's from our sister station in FOX6 Minnesota, up there in St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis. And it's the storm chaser that they have there, Bill Doms. You can see that tree taken down in the overnight and early morning hours. In fact, it was still there during most of their morning show. It was just east of Litchfield, Minnesota, if you're familiar with the area.
Yes, and so, I mean, we're talking about the severe weather, but there's other parts of the weather, too, that's kind of crazy as well, like your air quality, wildfire smoke. It has not left, folks. New Yorkers have had to deal with a second day of bad air quality on Sunday, and it's not over. The wildfires in Canada are being blamed, and forecasters say the situation will not be improving just yet. More than 550 wildfires have been reported in Manitoba alone, and 15 million acres have already burned across the country. That's a lot. Some of that smoke has been drifting over the northeastern United States. The air quality index reached warning levels on Sunday, which was yesterday, and that means the elderly people, as well as people with respiratory problems and other health issues, should not spend a lot of time outdoors. I know it's catchy with warm temperatures, but be sure to be careful. A heat advisory warning has been issued for many parts of the Northeast for Monday, which is today, and that means the situation will be much of the same as far as that wildfire smoke in the area and the air quality.
The heat, the low air quality, the high humidity, it's a rough combination. You can see that video there with the bridges and the city just kind of socked in with that. From there, we go back to Iowa to talk about a different kind of cloud. Look at this shelf cloud. This is a clip from one of our live cameras. You know, Holly, we have that network of live cameras around the world, and this one was from earlier, catching that shelf cloud in Salina, Iowa. Early morning light there, kind of illuminating the edge of the cloud, and of course some pretty frequent lightning with that as well. So we have been very, very busy indeed, as we talked about. We've had the high heat, we've had the poor air quality, the smoke, and all the different types of severe weather there. So to dig in a little deeper on how this weather pattern is evolving, we turn to Chief Meteorologist Tom Wachs.
Well, I want to talk about the overall weather pattern here, a very summer-like weather pattern in place and honestly pretty typical for this time of year. So take a look. These are high temperatures on Sunday, and I've painted the jet stream on here as well. So you'll notice this big ridge of high pressure across the nation's midsection. That's helping to bring up all of this heat. So we're not alone in this heat here as that is really building. Sometimes you'll hear it called a heat dome or a ridge of high pressure in this case. Well, last night out in Minnesota, they had some nasty thunderstorms. In fact, they had hail, they had flooding, they had tornado warnings out there, and those storms weakened as they move to the southeast towards southeastern Wisconsin. This is actually a pretty standard type of a weather pattern in the summer. So let me explain. Typically what happens, and in this case it's off to our northwest, we have thunderstorms that fire in Minnesota like they did yesterday, and then they ride the ridge. So we call them ridge riders. So they develop in the afternoon and evening, and then they start to move to the southeast with time, and then they kind of lose their punch late at night as they head towards us. So this is why, number one, we have chances for thunderstorms in the morning over the next couple of days. Number two, why they tend to be on a weaker trajectory or a weaker path as they head our way. And number three, we clear out pretty rapidly in behind it like we're going to see here this afternoon. And that then heats us up both today and again tomorrow. So once again, the overall weather pattern here, really not that uncommon for us here in southeastern Wisconsin with both the heat and then also those thunderstorms that weaken as they head in from the northwest.
Speaking of thunderstorms, that's all out of the way now. Thanks to Tom for breaking that down with the weather pattern. But the heat is sticking around. Even though the storms are gone for now, the heat is sticking around. So across the state here, we're seeing a lot of that. The heat advisory, it just really went in effect about 7 minutes ago. So the heat advisory is going to be in effect from now until 8 p.m. tonight. And that's for at least half of the state. So that southern half of our entire state. And that just means the heat index could get up to the triple digits. So in between 100 and 104 degrees is what it could feel like outdoors today. But we're not the only people dealing with heat in our forecast. Across the nation, you're seeing a lot of heat advisories, heat warnings, and even heat watches that are already in place because, as Tom stated, that big dome of high pressure as well as all of that heat, everybody is pretty much suffering from that, which is requiring us to have all of those heat advisories and warnings all in place. Now, as we look at our national forecast highs for today, you see it too. You see the heat here. It's not really that many places that are getting a little bit more of that comfortable weather, at least except for Los Angeles. They're in the 70s there for highs today. Everybody else is at least in the 80s, 90s, and even triple digits. 112 degrees in Phoenix for a high today, 92 in Milwaukee, but across the state for our area, we're all going to be experiencing very hot temperatures. We're either going to be in the upper 80s or you're going to be in the 90s with that heat index in the triple digits. This is just a look across the Midwest with those temperatures closer to home of what you can expect. It's going to be a hot one, so be sure to know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. That way that you're able to tell the difference so you can get inside. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about any air quality issues, but just make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Even when you're not thirsty, drink plenty of water as well as applying that sunscreen. We look for really across the state, though, we're seeing a lot of 90s, 79 in Marquette for a high today, 82 in Duluth, 90 in Green Bay, and then Wausau is checking in at about 89 for a high today. Another factor is going to be those dew points. Even right now, dew points are very, very high, especially for some of those southern areas just south of the Milwaukee region in the 70s. So it's almost feeling very, very wet outdoors. Your hands are probably sticky if you go outdoors, but it's still humid here, and that humidity is only going to get worse as we go throughout the rest of the day. Those dew points are going to increase. We're at 61 currently in Milwaukee, 65 in Minneapolis, 64 in Marquette. Here is a look at the dew point forecast over the next couple of days. So today and tomorrow will be the days where we have the highest dew points, but then we start to get a relief. And I know a lot of people can just take a deep breath and go, whew. Finally. So as we go towards Thursday, which is going to be the start of the state fair, you'll start to notice how much more of a comfortable feel it will be outdoors. And I'll get to that in just a second as far as what you can expect as far as on our forecast for whenever the rain is going to come and when it'll leave the area. But here's a look at that high temperature trend as well. We're going to have 2 more hot days today and tomorrow, and then we'll start to cool off and we'll be in the 70s as we head towards Wednesday and even Thursday and into the weekend. So we do have beautiful weather on the way, but we've got to get through some of the rain first. We don't have any rain that we're tracking right now. We're nice and quiet across the state here, but you do see this area of interest. It's another low pressure system that's going to continue to move towards our area, and that's going to provide us with the rain as we head into tomorrow's forecast. So as far as that severe storm outlook for today, Milwaukee is clipped off, but there are some areas, a part of Wisconsin, that are going to be under a marginal and slight risk as we head into Tuesday's forecast. Most of that rain is going to fall to the south, so we will be under a marginal risk. Let's take a look here on our Fox weather model. So as we go throughout the rest of tonight, it should stay nice and quiet, and then those storms that we saw on the satellite and radar will begin to make it closer to our area. It's going to dominate the entire state at some point, so that is why we do have the severe thunderstorm outlooks with a slight and marginal risk in place. Those storms will pretty much dominate the area starting late or early Tuesday morning, I should say. We'll start to see more of that rain in the area. Throughout the day on Tuesday, it will be dry, but then we'll set up for another system that will pretty much move through as we head towards late Tuesday into Wednesday. And then all of that rain moves out quickly, and we'll still be able to enjoy both days with plenty of sunshine, but cooler temperatures will be on the way. So after Wednesday and we start the state fair on Thursday, that's whenever we're going to have those temperatures to be nice and comfortable, and then we'll start to trend with beautiful sunshine.
I'm looking forward to that, and everybody's looking forward to a break from the heat and the stormy conditions. And we're not alone in this. Obviously, there have been numerous storms throughout our country as well as internationally. And over in Germany, they're looking into whether or not a storm may have led to a train derailment. It sadly killed 3 people, left dozens of people seriously injured. 2 coaches derailed near a forested area last night, about 90 miles from the capital city of Munich. 100 people were on board at the time. 50 were injured. The German main national railway operator says it's working with investigators and police to try to determine, as I said, if those strong storms that took place right before the derailment were indeed a factor for that train coming off of its rails. It's the power of Mother Nature, of course, not restricted to our backyard. Nor is it restricted to your TV. We're on YouTube, we're on your phone. Download Fox Local and watch us every day. We'll be right back with more Wisconsin weather experts from the beautiful blue sky city of Milwaukee.
Welcome back, you guys, to tuning in to Wisconsin Weather Experts. We've talked a lot about all of the severe weather and the air quality, everything, including the heat.
Yes, the never-ending, punishing heat. Question is, what would you do to raise money? Would you suffer without AC? There's an Arizona man that says he is willing to deal with the Arizona heat. It's been bad enough here. Without air conditioning as part of an effort to raise money for charity. Paul Farmer says he wants to help out other people who are struggling to pay their bills and cannot afford to keep their homes cool. Fox's Nicole Cranston picks up that story.
Well, for 66 days, one West Valley man has been living without air conditioning. Today, temperatures reaching 100 degrees in his living room. And he's doing it all for a great cause.
Paul Farmer says he fell on hard times last year and went 11 weeks without air conditioning. Now that he's gotten back on his feet, he wants to help those who are still dealing with the Arizona heat without the help of AC. He's spent over 2 months sleeping on a pool float, discovering ways to keep semi-cool.
All these ice packs, little frozen water bottles, what it does is, as you can feel it too, like it's starting to cool down.
Yes.
So as you're sleeping, these ice packs will cool down the water and it'll get you through the whole entire night.
He started a GoFundMe and hopes to be able to raise enough money this summer to pay for 3 families' electric bills for a year. He says the stories he's heard since starting this challenge only strengthen his desire to help.
There's so many families here in Arizona and worldwide that unfortunately can't afford their AC, which is terrible. It's terrible. You know, I'm going through it firsthand, you know what I mean? But, you know, this is by choice to help out others. Last year, I didn't have a choice. So just taking myself back into that time of my life, it was the worst. It was the worst.
We have a link to that GoFundMe helping to raise money for families in need on our website, fox10phoenix.com. And if you want to follow along with the journey, you can follow Paul, AZ Backpack, on Instagram. Reporting in the West Valley, Nicole Christine, Fox 10 News.
That's a tough one. Going without AC. I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it, and obviously we feel for you, and I can understand his point here, and I think he's making a great point. There are a lot of folks, not only here in this country, that can't afford to have that luxury. There are parts of the world where that's just not even a feasible option. The grid isn't there to do it, suffering through heat that we probably can't even understand as you know, folks living in Wisconsin. But yeah, I think I would find it very, very difficult after all these years of, you know, being privileged. I've had that ability to turn down that. Yeah. And I'm cheap, but I still turn it on and let it cool me down. So
me too.
Good for him for raising some awareness. Yeah, well, and you're from the South, so.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I just suffer. I mean, my parents suffered at the time with the AC. I mean, we have it on 60, and it still felt really hot whenever, you know, have
60.
Yeah, not 60, but in the 60s, like 67.
Okay.
That was like my dad's go-to in the summertime, and it still felt hot.
Still felt hot, yeah.
And I'm like, I can only imagine what the bills are like now that I'm paying bills.
Right. And if you think, you know, Arizona's a dry heat, and not always, when they get into that monsoon season, there's an issue with that as well. All right, so we're going to talk about how that heat might be making us old.
Oh, yeah,
not just feel old, actually making us old.
Yeah, it's aging a lot of people. So as the days are getting longer and warmer, it's important to keep in mind the effects of sun and extreme heat can have, what the effects of sun and extreme heat can have on us. Living in a hot climate doesn't just make your skin age faster, it does it to your whole entire body. Researchers looked at more than 3,600 people over 55 years old. They found people who experienced at least 140 days of a heat index over 90 degrees, aged up to 14 months, faster than those who only experienced 10 such days per year. That's about the same as the impact of smoking and heavy alcohol use. That's insane.
Wow. I mean, here in Wisconsin, we're not going to get to 140, although 90 is not a high threshold, right? I mean, even just having a day in the mid-80s with a decent dew point will get you a heat index of 90, but I don't think we'd crack 140. So yeah, I guess moving here has helped you stay young.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, I took a vacation about 2 weeks ago to Orlando, and I felt like I could not survive. And so, now I feel like I am a true Wisconsinite.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I love the weather here because Oh, I just can't imagine like
The hot and the stickies.
Yeah.
And the human body's pretty amazing how it adapts, but at a certain point with heat and humidity, it just can't keep up. So, hey, the good news is it's going to be very comfortable for State Fair. And speaking of State Fair, that is coming up, and it was nominated, by the way, for the best State Fair in the country. We will be live. Yes, this show, Wisconsin weather experts will be there live for opening day. If you can't make it, we'll have all of the best moments of day one right here on Fox 6. If you can't make it, or if you can make it rather, make sure you say hi to us. I'll be down there. Lisa will be down there. Holly, you're going to stay back here because somebody's got to, man the fort, as they say. But yeah, we'll be down there. Opening up the main stage opening day is country band Midland and country rock band South Hall. So we'll be excited to see all the fun down there. Make sure you come over and say hi to Wisconsin weather experts. Looks great for the forecast.
Yes, it does look great. We're going to be starting Thursday off really, really nice. That's probably going to be the coolest and probably most comfortable day. We'll be in the 70s, plenty of sunshine. That even carries over to the end of the week and the weekend. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the 70s for Friday and Saturday, but still nice. I mean, this is as good as it gets right here, Rob.
And this be your first State Fair, or did you?
Yes,
yeah,
first
because you
State
got here
Fair.
just after State Fair last year. So first Wisconsin State Fair for you. I'm excited. You have to try your cream puff. You got to get the brownie. You got to go to the milk house.
I got a list of
There's
stuff.
a ton of stuff. You probably want to go 2 or 3 days. We'll see if management can hook you up with some tickets. We'll be back with more Wisconsin weather experts right here on Fox Local. Stick around. Welcome back to Wisconsin weather experts on this already very hot and sticky day. But as we just talked about, relief is in sight.
Yes, relief is in sight. And if you've got things that you're thinking about that you don't necessarily know that's weather related, or that you would like to see featured on the show, feel free to ask us a question. You can scan that QR code right at the bottom of your screen. You can ask us anything from air quality questions as well as even heat questions and storm questions. We'll try to get all those answered for you, and we'll present it right here on our Wisconsin Weather Experts.
Yeah, check it out. Send us whatever question you might have. All right, so we've been talking about heat, and a lot of folks get down to the water. Well, most dog owners want their pets by their side throughout all their life's adventures, right? And it's summertime, rather. Maybe it's supper time for me, but it's summertime. That can mean trips together to the beach to get away from this heat, like I said. But before man and man's best friend can take a cool dip or board a boat, veterinary experts are sharing several safety concerns to be aware of. Fox News' Ted Lindner has more.
As pet owners and their pooches head to ponds and lakes, seeking relief from the dog days of summer, veterinarians are highlighting several risks to be mindful of before diving in.
Be aware of the waterways. So making sure boats aren't nearby, jet skis, things that could come by and potentially hurt your animal.
Special focus should also be spent on the water quality.
Because there can be toxins in the water, chemicals, trash, debris, or even things like algae can form on the top of the water, and some of that can actually be very toxic.
If you deem the H2O is ready to go, vets say life jackets aren't a terrible idea, especially for dogs on docks and boats.
Make sure that it fits your dog appropriately. It's the right size, it's fitted across their chest, that they're used to it. Those are all really, really good ideas. In case your pet was to fall in, they would have something that would keep them afloat and that you could help grab them and save them.
In cases where dogs fall into water without flotation devices,
if it is a dog that swims well and you can tell that their head's above water, their snout's above water, they are swimming very casually or just happily, then it's probably not a frantic situation to go and run after them, which is great. I would let them play a little bit, but then get them back in the boat.
but not every dog is an Olympic swimmer.
Smush-faced dogs have really hard time swimming. It's very dangerous. Grab them as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile, pay attention for signs like intense shaking that may indicate your pet doesn't have its sea legs ready.
They're letting you know that they're not comfortable. In those situations, it may be boring, it may not be fun, but you may have to stay behind.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Yeah, got to take care of our puppies even as we seek some relief by getting down to the water or out on a boat.
Oh, I agree. And when she said like smush-faced dogs, I have all bulldogs, so they can't swim in our pool.
That well. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back again same time tomorrow with the Wisconsin weather experts on Fox Local and the Fox 6 YouTube page.